Welcome to CAN TV 21 Hotline. Let's talk etiquette. My name is Nathan Wright, and I'm the Executive Director of the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. And we're again so pleased to be here with you. Hope you tune us in, give us a call. The number there is 312. The number here is 312-738-1060. And once again, I had the pleasure of introducing this outstanding etiquette maven, Georgia Selmon. Welcome, Georgia, to another great Let's Talk Etiquette show.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. I love coming to speak with you and your audience about Let's Talk Etiquette.
Let's Talk Etiquette.
Yes.
I mean, if you just repeat the word once a day, etiquette, just one time a day, you would be surprised the impact that word would have on those people you are acquainted with and the ones you know well. So let's teach it to our children. Let's put that word in their memory banks, etiquette, and what it means as well. And we believe that it means manners and morals.
Yes.
But we had got so much response to last week's show. I mean, it's just unbelievable the kind of response we've gotten to that show. But Mr. DeLuca, our state representative, has come out with another paper on the subject.
Yes.
And so we just couldn't resist bringing this additional information to you because we are advocates of good manners and morals as well as values. And so we want to go ahead and share his opinion in his second paper. But first, let me put the topic up for you to see so that you will be able to be with us in what we are promoting and advocating. The art of parenting. And this is part 2, the legalization of marijuana. This is such an issue, Georgia, that we just simply could not resist taking this additional subject on because Mr. DeLuca has provided us with some additional information that is very, very critical. So it would be like you got one part but then never got the second part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put the second image up here of State Rep Anthony DeLuca, great political leader in the community, and we appreciate his efforts to enlighten us on this grand subject. And so, Ms. Selmon, could you just kind of give us a overview of the second edition of Mr. DeLuca's statements and position as a legislator on the legalization of marijuana?
Absolutely. I'm just delighted to do so. I feel so strongly about my position as a parent, an educator, a community leader to speak against the legalization of it. And I'm so pleased that State Representative Anthony DeLuca taken his time and energy to research and gather the information that he has gathered to have a discussion and to speak against the legalization of dope. And he says, nope for dope.
I like
nope
that.
For dope.
Nope for dope.
And I like that title as well.
I do.
Because we need to come together as a community, as parents, as concerned citizens, to say nope to dope, because that's what marijuana is.
Yes.
Let's face it, let's be honest about it, and let's talk about and have dialogue about the harm that it can do to our children, to our family members. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I can say quite honestly and frankly that I have family members that started using marijuana and graduated from marijuana to harsh drugs.
Yes.
It's a devastating experience. It caused devastation to the families.
Yes.
It causes devastation to individuals.
Yes.
Should we legalize this substance? And I am going to say no.
And I am fully with you as
No.
a personal position that I'm taking and you're taking. And of course, the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois is taking that same position because we know that it's harmful. We know that it leads to addiction.
Absolutely.
And even the smoking of cigarettes. People start smoking marijuana, they end up also smoking cigarettes because that's the same method of inhaling cigarettes, and we all know how addictive cigarettes are.
Absolutely.
That's not even a question about that addiction and the lives that it destroys. So we're on the same page when it comes to this particular issue, the legalization of marijuana in Illinois.
And I'm going to speak as from a parent perspective. I'm in the schools often. I have grandchildren.
Yes.
I have great-grandchildren. If this substance, if this cannabis becomes legal, your neighbors, my neighbors, anyone can grow marijuana, have it next door to you.
Wow.
Yes, have it next door to you while we are vacationing in the parks and enjoying park activities. It will be in our parks.
Yes.
Do you want to see this in your immediate environment? I've had friends, since we've posted this last week, I've posted on Facebook, and I've had numerous people to text me, call me, and have some dialogue. I'm hoping that they'll call in with their concerns and their suggestions and ideas about this legalization of marijuana.
Yes, yes.
They know my position, and I know some of theirs.
Right.
Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
Okay? Medical marijuana is legal. Medical marijuana is legal. And more power to that.
Yeah, I understand the benefit of it because people are ill. They have
Absolutely.
cancer, they have all kinds of illnesses, and if it helps them, I'm for that. Please believe me, we're not opposed to that at all.
Not at all.
So we want them to get that confused, and it's already legal. So it's not a question of whether they're trying to make it legal. It's legal.
Yeah, we're talking about recreational marijuana.
Yes.
And that's what's kind of frightening for me. Yes. I'm sorry. I live very close in proximity to my neighbor.
Yes.
And if my neighbor happens to, if this drug happens to become legal and he decides to fire up or light up our porch, our balconies, I'm right here and he's right there. The only thing that's preventing us from seeing each other is a wood petition.
Right.
And that's it. And I could smell, or if you could smell cigarettes. You could smell the substance that I'm opposed to.
Yes. Yes, and
I feel very strongly and very passionate about this, Mr. Wright. You know that.
I know, and it's a great campaign that we are heading up, at least from the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois' point of view, because we feel very, very strongly about this issue here, how it's going to impact our children and adults if this becomes legal. Now, you were saying in the article there that Mr. DeLuca added some additional about personal. What was that telling?
He says the first SB7, this first Senate Bill 7, allows individuals to use their primary residence to grow 5 cannabis plants.
Oh.
So you can grow, if this becomes law.
Anyone can produce it.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. That's so...
And he said that growing 5 plants at home will never be a positive shift for public health or for the well-being of society.
Kudos to you, Mr. DeLuca. I am in total agreement with that statement there is no way it can be of any benefit to society.
He
I can't
asked-
see it, and I don't think anyone else with any common sense could see it being a benefit.
His question is, do you wish for this to be in your community? Please
When it's public,
call us and let us
yes.
know.
Yes, call us at 312-738-1060. Let's hear from you. Let's see what you have to say. Give us your opinion. Don't be afraid. I mean, if you for it, call us still. We want to hear that. You know, we live in a free society, so you're entitled to your opinion. So join us. Let's hear your comments on this subject. But back to what he is saying with this is that I can grow 5 marijuana plants in my house, and then go about the business of either selling it. I mean, how much is 5 plants? I mean, in terms of quantity, is it a big pile when it's all done? I got a big pile of dope sitting on the table. I can roll 200, 500 cigarettes out of it. I mean, then what's to stop me from giving it away or selling it? Is that addressed in the legislation?
Well, it says law enforcement has stated that it will be impossible to regulate compliance.
There you go.
Yes.
That's from our law enforcement.
Absolutely.
That's their position.
Yes.
I mean, come on now, and it's going to make their job triple hard because they're going to have so many doped out people operating motor vehicles on our roads, killing people, injuring people. And, it's like anyone driving crazy, they're going to get stopped because the police naturally going to think they're on pot.
I think this is a question that we should probably all ask ourselves. Will you feel comfortable when your children visit a friend's home having alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana on the premises? I mean, seriously.
I certainly wouldn't. You wouldn't either.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
And what do? You go over to their house and ask them, do you have this substance in your home? Are you one of the ones who use it? How exposed would my child be visiting your home? I'm highly concerned about that. I mean, how do you even approach your neighbor?
Well, quite frankly,
in terms of trying to make that determination?
Someone who's in agreement with this law would probably be quite offended if you question them about what goes on in their home.
Right, they would, and I can understand that.
Yes, but it still puts you or me or whomever in a very awkward situation if your child or grandchild wants to spend a night at a friend's house and these things are enhanced reach.
Yes, the enhanced reach. And believe me, parents, I mean, if you're smoking pot in your home, the smell gets in the carpet, it gets in the ceiling, it gets in the furniture, and your children are exposed to it. And when you expose them to it, children can tell if you are intoxicated. Okay, they can see something is wrong with your behavior, the way you look. If you're intoxicated, it's no different from alcohol. If you're looking drunk, you're drunk.
Absolutely.
And a child can discern that my parents just don't look right.
The question is, what would be the benefits? What would be the benefits of having this substance, this drug, to be legal? What's the real benefit? Who's benefiting from marijuana, the legalization of marijuana?
The drug manufacturers are benefiting. It's to their benefit to see it legal. They're the ones who are sponsoring the legislation. I'm almost 99% certain they are the ones who are sponsoring it, and they're in it for money. And they don't care how many lives are lost, how many young people get fired off of their job because they come to work and have some substance or residue of marijuana, and they get a drug test and they lose their job. They don't care about the consequences, the prison increase that's going to come about from people being intoxicated and not able to maintain some decency about themselves. And so they're going to end up in prison. So our prison population is going to go up. There's no doubt about that, okay? And more violence in our community.
Yes.
No doubt about that.
Death rates?
Death rates. How many is being shot every week here in Chicago? And how many of those young people are intoxicated on marijuana? Okay? You know, at least it has to be 50%.
We really need to consider all of these factors, and we really need to do our homework and
Yes.
research and clearly find out how this can negatively affect our families, our youth, our communities, and people.
Right.
Get it straight. Medical marijuana
Yes.
or medical prescriptions prescribed by a doctor, I am not arguing that in any way, form, or fashion.
No.
I have friends who are on medical marijuana and all kinds of sedatives for whatever their illnesses may
Yes.
need.
Mm-hmm.
I am not debating or arguing that point.
No.
I am simply strongly opposed to legalizing recreational marijuana because of the harmful effect that
Yes.
it can have
Yes.
in our communities, in our homes,
Yes.
in our families.
Yes.
That's my argument. That's my position.
Absolutely. And we at the Etiquette Foundation, our concern is about the well-being of the community. When it all boils down to it, we teach etiquette as a way of civilizing our communities and our young people. And so this is a related issue that can easily impact on our young people's behavior. And so if their behavior is being altered, and yes, it is. It's being altered. Their behavior
Absolutely.
is being altered. And therefore, the consequences of that, we just don't know. We know that violence is up in the city of Chicago, and it's been that way for a number of years, and we're losing another generation of our young people based on behavior.
And we can't risk. We need to just understand that we can't. This will impact a whole generation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what's so frightening
Yes.
about this bill.
Yes.
It will impact a large population,
Yes.
especially of our young people.
Yes. And this
We
is,
advocate manners and morals.
yes. But you have to be a sound mind. You have to be in your right mind to understand your role in society. And we're having a huge problem just getting our young people to understand what etiquette is.
Yes.
You know, how to use these skills in order to conduct your life. Now, if they are on some mind-altering drug, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to be able to think on that level and pursue their life and their life goals on that level. So we don't want them to be out of their minds in any way in order to be able to be a great citizen in this society. And we don't see this as a contributor to them
Absolutely
becoming
not.
a great citizen. And so that's why we're taking the position that we're taking, because I have seen young people high. Okay, I'm sure you had some
Yes.
family members, and I know in my family, high on pot. And they are not capable of being, in their right minds or conducting themselves in an appropriate way. Because the drug just doesn't allow you to appear to be normal. You look like you high. You talk like you high. And you behave like you're high. And so we know the history of the drug, and to make it legal is going to have a huge, not just a personal impact, but on the entire society.
The entire society.
It's going to be impacted by it
Yes.
in a negative way.
Yes.
Not in a positive way, in a negative way. So call us, 312-738-1060. It's a great subject. We'd love to hear from you. Do not hesitate to pick up that phone. It's not too late. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this subject, the legalization of marijuana. So, did Mr. DeLuca have any other points that we feel that we should point out?
Well, basically, he's just, stating that it's a harmful drug to legalize. And he's talking about how it will impact our youth, young people and how it can impact them with illnesses psychologically and physiologically. And that's scary because we have enough ills in our homes and in our communities and in our schools.
Yes.
And we don't need any more.
Do not. Absolutely
Especially legal ills that's going to impact our communities, our school communities.
Yes.
And you know, Mr. Wright, we're in the schools all the time.
Right.
And it's a disservice to our youth.
It is.
And it's harmful in our communities to see a young person behind the wheels of a car driving intoxicated off of drugs, marijuana, alcohol, and we're seeing more and more deaths as a result of intoxication.
Yes.
It's just adding more detriments to our communities than good.
And do you know that they're actually mixed in it? They're smoking pot and drinking at the same time.
That's scary.
That's going on. That's kind of a normal. If you're a pothead, a pot smoker, you add alcohol to it, you know, and that gives you, I guess, a different sensation or a different illusion or whatever it does to you. But the combination of those two together is really, really lethal and very dangerous.
Well, people, you know, they're saying, well, it's legal. What's wrong with it? You know, to fire up a marijuana in your home because now it's legal,
or to go
on the street, or to go sit on the porch.
Yes.
And I'm offended by that. I don't know about you.
I am too.
And listeners, I don't know about you. I would like to hear your thoughts, but I'm offended by that.
Yes, and you can call us later if you want. I'm going to give you our information so that you can email us if you like to give us your opinion in writing. We would love to hear from you, get your insight on this subject. We feel very strongly about it here at the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. Of course, my co-host and myself, you heard our commentary on the subject. So we are making it very clear that this is not a plus for society. And I just cringe at the idea of some pot is passed on to an 8-year-old or a 7-year-old, you know, because his 10-year-old brother or cousin has some and tell him, try this out. This is good, try it out, just puff on, just, you know, and this happens now. So when it becomes legal, it's going to happen far more often. And here we are now with a 9-year-old or 8-year-old high on pot. How's he going to behave in school?
People,
how's he going to think and study and learn?
You better think about it. This bill is serious.
Call your state legislator.
Yes.
Reach out to your political leaders. It doesn't matter if it's the governor. Reach out to the governor.
Do your own research.
Right. Reach out to your Congress people. In Chicago, reach out to the mayor. Okay, and all the persons. Let them know that you're not in favor of this if you're not. This is just how important it is. We need to speak loudly about this issue.
Absolutely.
And it should be from every quarters, the church community. Please, you know,
everyone should get on the bandwagon and speak against the legalization of recreational marijuana. We don't need anything more in our communities, in our homes, that's going to affect us in a negative way. We just don't need it.
Absolutely.
Think about your children. Do you want your children visiting someone else's home and they're growing pot in the backyard?
And I hate to bring this subject up, but it's an important subject to bring up. You know, that was about 2 months ago where some young child had got hold to a gun and then shot another child in the house, killed a child. You may remember that story. But just imagine, a child is able to get his hands on a gun. A teenager, could be a 14, 15-year-old. They're able to get their hands on a gun and they're high on pot. I mean, what are you asking to happen? You know, with that combination. You're asking for something very dangerous and very deadly to happen.
Not good.
If you ever tried pot, you know what I'm talking about. You're really not in control of yourself. you really don't think normally when you're intoxicated on that drug. And then here you got a gun, and the guns are very plentiful. They're legal too. So now, why would we want to take a chance and encouraging by having it normal, by having it legal, encouraging our young people to indulge in that, and they have such access to firearms? What do you want to happen? You want your child to get shot? That can easily happen. So don't think that you're safe and that this is somehow not going to have any ramifications on the greater community, because it is. It's happening right now. So if we at the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois appeal to this community, appeal to those individuals out there, those regular folks, get on your phone, call your representative, let them know that you don't think this is a good idea and they should oppose it. And let's put this whole legalization issue to rest. Then vote it down. That's how you do, right? You just vote it down.
Vote it down.
And that's where it should be. And not brought back to the state of Illinois ever again. At least here we can say we opposed it. We citizens spoke up and opposed it. So I think we're getting very close to the end of our show.
Absolutely.
And I want to go ahead and end it out by giving our information out so that we can let people know that they can call us and reach us. You can call us at 312-473-2942, or you can send us an email at info@efoi.org. So please call us or email us. Well, with that said, Madam Etiquette Maven, I'll give you the honors of closing the show out.
Well, I just want to reiterate, please, please, please learn more about the legalization of marijuana, and please think about yourself personally and your children and family personally, and vote based on what you feel personally.
Yes.
Thanks for
Yes.
watching. Please call in the next time, and until then, have a good evening.